शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 2 वल्ली 1 we will read संबंध भाष्य। एष सर्वेषु भूतेषु गूढोत्मान प्रकाशते दृश्यते त्वग्र्यया बुद्ध्या इत्युक्तम्। In the previous Valli we have seen this verse, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudhotmana prakashate drishyate tvagreya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhihi. Bhashyakara is reminding the verse to connect the following verse. In this verse, the Upanishad says that to know the Atma, one should have Agriya Buddhihi and Sukshma Buddhihi. But then people lacking in Agriya Buddhi and Sukshma Buddhi fail to recognize the Atma. They even fail to seek the Atma most often, much less to attain the Atma or know the Atma. So now, one might ask the question, what prevents a person from getting Agriya Buddhi and Sukshma Buddhi? Why one's mind does not become pure and why the mind does not get focused in the pursuit of Atma Tattva? What prevents the mind? What blocks the mind from seeking and pursuing the knowledge of Atma? See, kaf punaha pratibandhaha agriyayaha buddhehe yena तदभावात् आत्मा न दृश्यते इति तददर्शन कारण प्रदर्शनार्थ वल्ली आरभ्यते अग्र्यायाः बुद्धेः कः प्रतिबन्धः पुनः then if it is so अग्र्यायाः बुद्धेः प्रतिबन्धः कः what prevents the अग्र्या बुद्धि अग्र्या बुद्धि means बुद्धेः अग्र्यतायां कः प्रतिबन्धः the अग्र्यता of buddhi, the focus of mind, what prevents it, what is the pratibandha that prevents the focusing of the mind, yena, because of which pratibandha, yena pratibandhena tadabhavat means buddhehe agryatayaah abhavat, because of lack of focus atma na drishyate, the atma is not known. What prevents a person from knowing the atma? Iti prishte sati. When this question is asked, the Shruti has to explain the reason why people fail to peep into the Atma. Tadadarshana karana pradarshanaartha, to show the karana, the reason for the inability to know the Atma. Why most of the people fail to understand the Atma? Why most of the people fail even to seek the Atma Tattva? Valli arabhyate, the Valli, the next Valli, first Valli of second chapter is being started. Valli arabhyate. At least the first two mantras of the Valli are about the reason, show the reason why people do not seek the Atma. Or even if they seek up to certain extent, why they fail to gain the knowledge of the Atma. So why we have to know the reason for failure to know the Atma? Why we should understand the pratibandha? Most often people say we should not think of negative things. We should see only positive thinking. Now, why this negative thing is being discussed? Pratibandha, the obstacle that prevents from knowledge, that blocks the knowledge. Why we have to know it? Then the Shruti says, Bhashyakara says, if the obstacle is known, then one can make effort to be free from the obstacle. Vijñāte hi shreyah pratibandhakarane tad apanayanaya yatna arabdhum shakyate nanyatha iti. श्रेयः प्रतिबंधकारणे विज्ञाते ही. The karana for Shreya Pratibandha, karana that obstructs the pursuit of moksha. Shreya means moksha. Tasya Pratibandha, the obstacle in the path of moksha. Vijñātehi, when it is known, the karana, the cause of obstacle. What causes the obstacle? When it is known, then tadapanayanaya yatna arabdhum shakyate. Tadapanayanaya, to remove it. Yatnaha arabdhum shakyate. One can start one's effort. Na anyatha, not otherwise. If one does not know what the obstacles are, one cannot make effort to remove them. Therefore, first of all, one should know what are the obstacles. Only when you know your enemy, you know who to fight and how to fight them. Who I should fight, only when that is known, I will know how I should fight. Likewise, here, what are the enemies in the pursuit of moksha? We have to know. Then we can try to avoid them. Na anyatha iti hetoho. Because of this reason, the Upanishad describes the pratibandha karana. We will see the mantra. Paranchikhani vyatranat swayambhuh tasmat parang pashyati nantaratman kaschidhiraha pratyagatmanamaikshat आवृत्तचक्षुः अमृतत्वमिच्छन् यस्मात् खानि परांची तस्मात् तानि स्वयंभूः व्यतृणत्. यस्मात्, since. Khani, kh means akasha. Kh literally means akasha, space. But here we have to take indriyani, the senses. How we can take the meaning senses from the word akasha? We have to do some gymnastics. Kha, akasha, is the source of shrotrendriya. Akashasya satvikamshat shrotrendriyam sambhutam. So, akasha stands for shrotrendriya. And Shrotrendriya stands for all the other Indriyas. So double Lakshana has to be taken. Lakshita Lakshana. One Lakshana and it is followed by another Lakshana. Akasha stands for Shrotrendriya. And Shrotrendriya stands for all the Indriyas. Therefore, Khani is equal to Indriyani, the senses. Senses are Paranchi. Paranchi. Parag Anchanti iti Paranchi. They go outwards. They go outwards. Parak means outwards. Anchanti, they move, they go. Therefore, they are called Paranchi. The senses are extroverts in nature. By nature, they are extroverts. They are designed in such a way that they can perceive only the external objects. Shabdadi Vishaya. And by the word external object, what we mean is Anatma. They can perceive only Anatma. External means Anatma in Vedanta Shastra. Parak is Anatma. Pratyak is Atma. Why Anatma is called external? Not because it is spatially outward. It is outside your nature. External to your Swarupa. Therefore, it is outward. Anatma. The senses are designed in such a way that they can perceive only Anatma. Therefore, they cannot know the Atma. If they cannot know the Atma, from the standpoint of moksha, they don't serve any great purpose. They don't contribute to the pursuit of moksha. Moreover, they prevent a person from pursuing moksha by carrying a person outwards, by dragging a person towards Anatma. They prevent a person from pursuing moksha. Therefore, the Shruti blames Ishvara for making the senses extrovert. Vyatrinat Swayambhuhu. Who should be blamed? Ishvara should be blamed. Swayambhuhu Vyatrinat. Swayambhuhu means Ishvara. So, Tasmat Tani Swayambhuhu Vyatrinat. Therefore, Tasmat. Tasmat means yasmat khani paranchi. Since the Indriyas are paranchi. And who designed them? Ishvara. Everything in the world is designed by Ishvara. Ishvara Srishti. Indriyas are also Ishvara Srishti. Therefore, we have to blame Ishvara only. It is not our problem. How the Indriyas are, it is not our problem. It is Ishvara. Swayambhuhu Vyatrinat. Ishvara destroyed them. Vyatrinat Himsitavan. He destroyed them. The Indriyas are spoiled brats. He spoiled the Indriyas by making them extrovert. So this is a poetic way of describing the senses. Now you might ask, why Ishvara did that? Why Ishvara made them extrovert? The why does not have an answer. Because that is how the Srishti is. And how the Srishti should be. It is already there in the Avyakrita, in its potential form. And the Avyakrita is Anadi. It is beginningless. From beginningless time, the Avyakrita had been projecting the world. And it has its own structure. So the structure of the Srishti, it is beginningless. Though the particular universe has a beginning. But even before this universe, there was another universe. Even before that, there was another universe. And each following universe is created in the same model of the previous universe. Therefore, the very structure of the universe is beginningless, Anadi. And if it is Anadi, you cannot ask why. Only if it has a beginning, you can ask why. If it is Anadi, why we have to blame Ishvara? Because Ishvara is the one who facilitates the Srishti. Though it is Anadi, the manifestation of the Srishti is made possible by Ishvara. To that extent, we say Ishvara has created. It is not that Ishvara planned in a particular way, okay, this is how the Indriya should be. It is not so. It is Anadi. That is why, in reality, we cannot blame Ishvara for the Srishti. But the Shruti blames Ishvara just for making us understand that it is unfortunate. That is the nature of Indriyas. Vyatrinat swayambhuhu. Tasmat. Therefore, parang pashyati. The person, an individual, sees outwards only. Parang pashyati. Sees only the external objects. Is aware of only anatma. What is the problem in seeing the anatma? Seeing the anatma itself is not a problem. But when we see the anatma, we attribute reality to the anatma. On seeing the anatma, we attribute reality to the anatma. Satyatva buddhi happens. And when there is satyatva buddhi in the anatma, we think we can get happiness from the anatma. We look upon the anatma as a source of happiness. The sense object can give me happiness. We think so. And seeking happiness from the anatma is desire. Desire is nothing but seeking happiness in the anatma. Kama or raga, you can call it anything. If I seek happiness in the anatma, it is a desire. And because of seeking happiness in the anatma, I am prevented from seeking the atma. I am prevented from turning towards the atma for happiness. That is how the Indriyas block my pursuit of Atma, prevent me from seeking the truth. Tasmat parang pashyati. Therefore, people turn outwards and become extroverts. In general, na antaratman. Antaratmanam na pashyati. Lokaha. People don't see the antaratma. People don't seek the antaratma. Don't see means they don't even seek the knowledge. And even if they start seeking the knowledge, they are pulled by the Indriyas outwards. Then this is the general trend in the world. Most often we don't find people seriously interested in knowing the Atma. Even if they come to the ashram, etc., even if they come to Rishikesh, it is not common to see the people really interested in the Atma. Because even in Rishikesh there is Anatma. Even in Uttarkashi there is Anatma. So the Anatma keeps pulling. Then there is Kaschid Dhiraha. Kaschid Dhiraha. Kaschit. Kaschit, the word Kaschit indicates that it is very rare. Somebody, some rare person. Dhiraha. He becomes a Dhiraha. Viveki. He gets the Viveka. The Anatma is not going to give any happiness. He understands this. And then Avritta Chakshuhu. He turns his indriyas away from the sense objects. Avritta Chakshuhu. Avrittam Vyavrittam Chakshuhu. Yasya Saha Avritta Chakshuhu. Chakshuhu stands for Indriyani. One whose senses are turned away from the sense objects, from the Anatma. Meaning, he does not seek happiness in the Anatma. Meaning, he has got Vairagya. With the Vairagya, Amritatvamichan, seeking Amritatva, seeking Moksha. Pratyagatmanamaikshat. He saw Pratyagatma. He understood the Pratyagatma. He understood the true nature of Atma. And Shankaracharya says, Aikshat, though it is past tense, we should understand it in the sense of present tense. Because even today it happens. It is not some past day that someone saw Pratyagatma. In the remote past, someone attained realization. It is not so. If you go to many institutions or organizations, most of them think only the founder of this organization got realization. That is what they think. You cannot get realization. You cannot get Atmajnana. But if you follow the founder, something will happen. I don't know what. You may go to Swarga or somewhere. You may go to his loka. The founder of this organization got realization. Therefore, you follow the founder of the organization, then you will go to his loka. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa got realization. You cannot get it. But if you worship Ramakrishna and meditate on Ramakrishna, you will go to Ramakrishna Loka. This is one theology. You can find some people talking like that. Shankaracharya says, even today, or at any point of time in the timeline of the universe, if anyone truly seeks Atmajnana, he understands. Aikshat, it is not past tense. It should be understood as present tense. It is not that at some point of some time someone got jnana. There is no last prophet. Someone is the last prophet. After him, there is no message from God. It is not so. See, Paranchi, Parag Anchanti, Gachanti, Iti, Khani, Tadupalakshitani, Shrotradini, Indriyani, Khani Ityuchyante, Paranchi, Parag Anchanti Gachanti Iti Paranchi. Para, para upasarga has the meaning of parak, outwards. Anchanti, anchanti is equal to gachanti, move outwards, go outwards. Iti paranchi. Therefore, they are called paranchi. Khani. Paranchi is a description of Khani. Khani means tadupalakshitani shotradini indriyani. Khani means shotradini indriyani. Kha means akasha. And akasha stands for shotra, one level of lakshana. And Shrotra stands for all indriyas. That is why he says Shrotradini Indriyani. Not just Shrotra, Shrotra Adini Indriyani. Indriya starting with the Shrotra. Tad Upalakshitani means Kha Upalakshitani. Implied by Kha, implied by Akasha. By the word Kha. Khani ityuchyante. The Indriyas are called Khani. Tani Paranchi eva Shabdadi Vishaya Prakashanaya Pravartante. Tani Shotradini Indriyani Paranchi eva pravartante. They go outwards alone. And what do they do when they go outwards? Shabdadi Vishaya Prakashanaya pravartante. They engage in perception of various sense objects, like a Shabda, Shabdadi, Shabda, etc., Vishaya, the objects, Prakashanaya, to perceive them, Pravartante, they function. Yasmadevam, Yasmat, Evam Swabhavakani. In Kailasashram book, Evam Swabhavikani Tani is there. A proper reading is Evam Swabhavakani Tani. Gita Press, what is written in Gita? Evam Swabhavakani, right? Yeah. Gita Press book you bring.
Yeah, Swabhavikani Tani.
Yasmadevam Swabhavikani Tani. Yeah, a better reading is, yeah, okay, Gita Press also has the same reading. A better reading will be Evam Swabhavakani. Evam Swabhavakani. One word. Huh? Swabhavakani. Evam Swabhavakani. एवं स्वभावः येषां तानि एवं स्वभावकानि. बहुव्रीहि समास. Satchidanandendra Saraswati takes that reading. Evam Swabhavakani. Yasmat Evam Swabhavakani Tani Vyatranat Himsitavan Hananam Kritavan Ityarthaha. Yasmat, since Tani evam swabhavakani, Tani indriyani, the indriyas are evam swabhavakani, they have this nature. By nature they are extroverts. Therefore, tasmat vyatranat, vyatranat is equal to himsitavan. He injured them, destroyed them. Hananam kritavan ityarthaha. He has destroyed them. Ishvara has spoiled them, as it were. Because Ishvara created the Indriyas. Kosau Swayambhuhu Parameshwaraha Swayameva Swatantro Bhavati Sarvada Na Paratantra iti. Kosau, who spoiled the Indriyas? Swayambhuhu. It is Swayambhuhu. Who is Swayambhuhu? Parameshwaraha, Ishvaraha. And why Ishvara is called Swayambhuhu? Swayameva bhavati iti Swayambhuhu. Swayam bhavati iti Swayambhuhu. Swayameva means Swatantraha. He is independent and free. Swatantraha bhavati sarvada. Always Swatantraha. Always independent. Na paratantraha. He is not paratantra. It is Swayambhuhu. In existence he is Swayambhuhu, and even in terms of working he is Swayambhuhu. He is not under the control of anybody. Therefore, he created the Indriyas in a particular way. So you cannot ask why Ishvara created so. But it is there. It is natural. It is nature of the senses. So just because the senses see outward objects, you don't have to feel guilty about it. Because that is the nature of the senses. They see the objects outside. And they will have their impulses also. The senses will have their impulsive behavior. Even for that, we cannot have guilt. If a sense produces a particular type of emotion, the desire, etc., whether it is desire or anger, it is natural to the senses. If I see a sweet, my tongue wants it. It is natural for the tongue to seek happiness in a sweet. Just because I have a desire for something, my tongue has asked me to give a jalebi, I don't have to feel guilty because that is how the tongue is. The taste buds are created in such a way that they want to taste. But then, how far should I gratify my senses? Whether I should allow my senses to gratify all its desire, or whether I should restrain them, it is in my hands. The tongue asking for sweet is not in my hands, because that is the nature of the tongue. But whether I should keep giving it sweet always, or should I restrain, it is in my hands. That is where I have to make use of the free will. You can restrain your senses, despite the senses having some natural tendencies. The natural tendencies of the senses are given. They have a natural tendency. I cannot do anything about it, because it is not my doing. It is nature. But then, can I restrain the natural tendencies? Yes, you can. If you use your free will, you can restrain the natural tendencies and discipline the senses. It is in your hands. So, तस्मात् परांग पराग्रूपान् अनात्मभूतान् शब्दादीन् पश्यति उपलभते उपलब्धा न अंतरात्मन् अंतरात्मानं इत्यर्थः तस्मात् therefore parang pashyati, parang is equal to paragrupan, the external objects, and the external objects are shabdadin, shabda etc., standing for anatma, anatma bhutan, the anatma. Parak means anatma. Pashyati, pashyati upalabhate, perceives. Upalabdha, the knower, the individual. Na antaratman, na antaratmanam ityarthaha. Antaratman, the antaratmanam, dvitiya ekavachana pratyaya has dropped. Since the dvitiya ekavachana pratyaya is dropped, it is just antaratman. The vibhakti is not visible. In Veda, sometimes the vibhakti gets changed and sometimes the vibhakti disappears. So here vibhakti has disappeared and Bhashyakara substitutes the vibhakti and says na antaratmanam ityarthaha, not the antaratma. not the Atma which is Antaha, which is inner. Inner means it is distinct from the Anatma. To show its distinction from the Anatma, we use the word Antaratman, Pratyagatman, etc. The inner self, the self which is your own true nature. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.